What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about Psycho Sleepover. So this was a first time watch for me. I sought it out because I saw that Felissa Rose was in it, and I saw that this was put out by Troma. I'm a Felissa Rose fan, I'm a Troma fan, so I thought, what the heck, let me check this out. I watched this on Plex. It was free. I had not seen it on there before, so this movie I've known about for a while. I don't know. I kind of like checking out all these random movies that Felissa Rose is in. So I remember I was like looking on eBay one day and I was gonna buy the DVD, but I didn't buy it. So yeah, I saw this popped up on Plex. I decided to watch it, and I don't know. This movie I was not a fan of. It was there was actually some good comedy, but it was more of a comedy than a horror film, and a lot of the comedy was just too much for me, too silly, too crazy. It was that offensive type humor, but some of it worked, some of it really did not work. So yeah, this movie, even though there were a couple things going for it, there were a couple good comedic moments. And, a couple of the kills were actually okay. A lot of the kills were not the best in my opinion. But yeah, overall, I was not a fan of this. So now I'm going to jump into a little plot summary for you all. So the movie centers around this group of girls, and they're having a slumber party. And the same night that they're having a slumber party, this mental institution has this escape, and 40 mental patients who are, all serial killers, they escape the mental institution, and they go to, the girl's house, and for the rest of the movie, these young ladies are, trying to survive the night and not get killed by these 40 serial killers. So that is the basic plot summary. I said that a lot of the comedy did not work, but there actually were quite a few funny moments that I enjoyed, so I'm going to go over those now. One of the funny moments was at the very start of the movie. So the main girl, Debbie, she's talking to her boyfriend, and they're Eskimo kissing, and the boyfriend's like, yeah, I want to move past Eskimo kissing. Can we do something more than Eskimo kissing? And she's like, more than the noses? Like, what are we going to do? Regular kiss? That's crazy. So that was, really simple joke, and, kind of silly, kind of goofy, but I really like that joke. There's this instance where when the girls are having their little slumber party, they're watching a horror movie, and in this horror movie, it's kind of like the movie that they're watching is supposed to be like super schlocky, and it's these like two girls just immediately get naked and they're like feeling each other up, and this pizza delivery guy knocks on the door, and they're like, oh, a pizza? What kind of pizza is it? And he just whips out a knife, and with the most deadpan delivery, he's like, it's a murder pizza. That was funny. There's this one guy who's killed, and earlier on in the movie he talked about being a football player, and this gentleman, he's a big boy, he's a hefty gentleman, and when he said he played football, I thought he was a lineman, but when he's killed, this other guy's like, no, that was our running back. That was great. That was really funny. I laughed out loud when he said that, so that was pretty darn cool. And then there's this one mental patient kills another mental patient, and then he proceeds to teabag the guy, Call of Duty style. That was great. I'm here for it. That was hilarious. So I really liked that moment as well. So yeah, those are some standout funny moments that I enjoyed. Now I'm going to get into the kills. So here's the deal. The kills in this were pretty lackluster. A lot of the effects were very, very underwhelming. There's this one kill where someone gets their face ripped off, and you see the killer holding a fake face, and then the person who just had their face ripped off, there's just blood on their face. Like it doesn't, like that's all, like all they did for the makeup. There's an instance later on where someone gets their throat slit and all, you just see like fake blood on their neck. So some of the kills are very lackluster, but there were two standout kills that I really liked. So the football player guy, he gets I think he gets hit with an axe in the chest, and then the killer rips out his heart, and that actually looked really good. Like the effects on that were pretty darn good, especially for the budget. This is like, you can tell this is so low budget, so that was, you know, pretty darn creative, and I thought the effects were very serviceable, so I like that. And then there's this kill in the movie where this gentleman, he gets his hand shoved in a blender, and of course that doesn't kill him. He gets his neck snapped after that, but when his, you know, hand is in the blender, that looks pretty good. It doesn't look overly fake or anything, so I like that as well. But yeah, overall the kills were pretty darn lackluster, and I was not a fan of most of them, besides those couple standouts. So I talked about Felissa Rose being in this, and I'm gonna be honest with you, she was barely in this. Going in, I didn't know how much she was gonna be in this. I just knew that she was in it, and after watching the movie, she's only in the movie for like 2 blink and you miss it scenes. So she plays this newscaster, and she's in the movie in the beginning, and then like towards the middle she makes another appearance, like, you know, on the news, and then that's it. So you probably see her for a total of maybe a minute. That's generous. So yeah, she's in this. It's cool to see her. I'm a fan, but she's barely in it. And I talked about Trauma being involved with this. I don't think, you know, they're like the Trauma studio actually made this. I think it was an instance where, you know, Trauma, they distribute a lot of films, where you know, they put a lot of films out. I think that was what was going on here. I don't think you know, the Trauma studio was involved with making this. I think this is just a film that they acquired and distributed. So yeah, but you know, talking about Trauma, that's what I was just about to talk about. Lloyd Kaufman, the head honcho at Trauma, he actually made a little cameo in this. So that was pretty darn cool to see. I always like seeing him popping up and stuff. He's always really cool, like, well, where he'll just make fun of himself, or he'll be down to be in like any movie, and he'll be down to be funny. So yeah, I liked seeing him. That was like a nice little cameo. So yeah, there you go. And then I'm wrapping things up here. So like I said, there were, you know, quite a few funny moments, and some of the kills were decent, but the reason why I was not a fan of this movie is because, you know, even though some of the comedy worked, most of the comedy did not work. Even though some of the kills were serviceable, most of the kills were really lackluster. So yeah, that was the thing for me. The movie wasn't consistent. There were, you know, little sequences here and there, little comedic sequences, little gore sequences that I thought were very serviceable, but then most of them were not. So it was not consistent. You know, more of the stuff that I was interested in, you know, when I sought this movie out initially, like I said, the gore and the comedy, that like most of that stuff was just not good. A lot of the jokes were groaners. They went for the offensive comedy, and some of it was like a little too much, where it just, like, I wasn't like offended or anything. I like that type of humor, but it just didn't work, basically. So yeah, and then this movie had like a really cheap look as well, which I kind of knew that going in, and I watch movies like that, but I'm just saying, for like general viewers, this movie has a very cheap look, which definitely brings it down. It looks like a student film. So yeah, basically, that's not a fault though why the movie was bad, because if you know, the story was great and all the other stuff was great, who cares if it looks cheap? You know, I like, you know, seeking out all kinds of movies. I don't care about the budget or whatever. It's like what you do with it. And, you know, they were resourceful. They were resourceful, but just, yeah, I think a lot of the comedy for me personally did not work, and a lot of the kills did not work for me as well. So that's why I was not a fan. So in terms of a recommendation, unfortunately, I would not recommend this. So yeah, there is my recommendation, and that has been my review of Psycho Sleepover. Thank you all very much for watching, and peace out.